Hey, everybody. I'm a little bit out of time. I'm out of place. I'm not usually live at this time. I'm usually on somebody else's channel in the very near future. We got a lot of great shows going on right now. Obviously, the Drinkers celebrating 1 million. You've got Rakita Law watching the trial, a different trial, the Potter trial. And of course, this news just came out. So I thought I'd do it real quick. It's absolutely interesting the way this came down. So let's go ahead and go through this. 5 of 6 charges. Jussie Smollett was convicted of staging the hate crime and lying to cops. We kind of knew this already, but let's just break it down. This is one of the many stories that are out there. This one's from Fox News. I didn't pick it for any other any reason specifically. I didn't pick it because it's from Fox News. I picked it because it was one of the ones most recently updated. So here we go. The Empire alum who claimed to be attacked. Actually, let me get to a better screen, guys. Sorry, this is normally the 6-minute daily set, so I'm trying to organize on the fly here. We have Jussie Smollett is convicted of staging the hate crime, as I said. So here we go. The Empire alum who claimed to be attacked in Chicago in 2019 was found guilty on 5 of the 6 charges. Jussie Smollett has been found guilty on those charges for the hate crime hoax trial. The jury found Smollett guilty of the first 5 counts. He was found not guilty on charge 6, which is aggravated battery, wearing a hood or mask to conceal his identity, after a very contentious week of witness testimony and counsel arguments and deliberations. This is interesting. I think this is probably where the deliberations were, or why the deliberations took so long. I think they were probably trying to decide if all 6 counts applied, or they broke them all up individually. That's probably what happened. They probably got 1 through 5 really easy. When they got to 6, they didn't what was I going to say? When they got to 6, they weren't able to come to a consensus. So that's probably where they were like, you know what, it's good enough or whatever. But we'll go back over it. Jussie Smollett, based on the headline here, was convicted of staging a hate crime and lying to cops. This goes all the way back to 2019. The delay was caused primarily by his side of the equation. So for those of you who don't know, this is the first full day of deliberations. They deliberated a little bit yesterday, but obviously they took their time to get the first 5 out of the way, and obviously the 6th one is the one where they basically said, nah, it wasn't aggravated battery or any of that. We'll continue to read the story and I'll recap as we go. Smollett was stoic as the jury read the verdict. The actor sat upright and stared straight ahead without showing any real emotion. I'm not surprised. He probably was prepared for this, to be honest with you. Judge Lynn said he would order a pre-sentencing investigation, and attorneys will meet via a conference call to determine a date for pre-sentencing motions, which is going to be basically an argument between what is he actually going to get in each of these particular counts and for what, for how long, if there's a suspension of sentence, all these other kinds of things are going to go around. So the judge said also that the jury will not be speaking to the media today if they ever choose to. They don't have to. That's one of the things judges will always tell you when you leave a courtroom, specifically give you the instructions. You now are welcome to talk about this, but you have no obligation to do so. He is also having deputies escort them to their cars. Obviously, we've seen a lot of circumstances recently where jurors are maybe intentionally, not intentionally, sought out for lots of different reasons. I'm just going to put it in those terms. So let's get through the chat. You guys are already chatting away in here, so we'll address that. I'm going to reset and we'll go again from there. Marks 47 says, good. When did the riot start? Actually, it's Chicago, so that could be right now. I don't know. I'm not even beginning to cover that. There may be none at all. It's hard to say what's actually going to happen. I can never predict people at all. I am definitely stocked up on shampoo. That's really a funny line, by the way. I guess somehow stocking up on shampoo to get through a riot. I don't know. That's kind of odd. I don't know what that references to, guys, but that's okay. Tim's Talks is doing emojis and everything else. Terry Rose says, when news breaks, culture will fix it. I don't know if I'm fixing it. I'm just reporting it. Like I said, I'm about 15 minutes behind on this story. I apologize. Trying to put a thumbnail together quickly. Hi, Cody guy. Good to see you, obviously. Keck is here. We got Nano Reaper. Haven't seen you in a minute, my man. Thanks for being here. Solar Warden is saying hola. We've got Bone saying, hey, culture, hey to you. Lasso of Truth is here. Rakita is coming over here. That's fantastic. Good to see some of you from over there. That would be crazy. What was the sixth? The sixth count. Once again, 5 of 6 charges he was found guilty on. The sixth not guilty charge was on aggravated battery, wearing a hood or mask to conceal his identity. That is charge number 6. Again, not guilty on that one. And again, obviously, I think they broke it all out, charge by charge. I think the thing that took them so long here was that they were really trying to get it right, and they probably had a pretty decent argument in that room about charge 6. That would be my guess. So thank you, Diego Flores, for that. Mark Santos is hanging out here. I don't know necessarily that I mean, a lot of people are going to be happy for this. A lot of people will be upset by this. The facts of the matter, obviously presented in courts and elsewhere, were widely available. So most people probably would have come to these conclusions. Guilty until proven, innocent until proven guilty is the way we operate. Right now, if the media wants it to be guilty until proven innocent, I don't want to fall in line with that. I just want to say this is what's happening here. So a lot of people, like I said, they're going to come from a different point of view. I had no skin in this fight other than I don't like people trying to get other people or to portray other people in a particular way. And there are genuine hate crimes in this world. I really, really don't. I really don't think that should be something that we don't accept as being the reality. But this particular thing, this kind of a hoax is just, it's bad for all of us. And it was, if literally, if there was overwhelming evidence on those 5 counts, obviously they didn't give them all 6. So again, there was definitely some deliberation in that room. It was thoughtful. It was definitely very, very thoughtful. I don't know that it was shocking. I think a lot of us anticipated this was probably the way this went. Small Time Republic says when he hatched this plan, he had to think it was low risk, high reward. He must have, to be honest with you. And I think that's probably the perception he had going into it. But let me continue on with the story because I want to get it all out there. The 39-year-old Empire alum was charged with 6 counts of disorderly conduct related to false statements to Chicago police officers regarding the 2019 hate crime against himself. He claimed that 2 men attacked him due to his skin color and sexual orientation. Since being accused of staging the attack, Smollett has maintained his innocence, and he said during his 2-day testimony that there was no hate crime hoax from my standpoint. Interesting way to put things. Prosecutors, however, argued that Smollett carried out a dry run of the attack, which they have video of. I mean, it's out there. Circled the block 3 times, apparently, working on some of this dry run. The day before this actually happened in 2019. Among the surprising claims made by Smollett's testimony was revelation that the actor received a text from CNN's Don Lemon. I've talked about my thoughts on this. I probably will express more later on. Again, this kind of interaction between news media and individuals, regardless of relationships, that's an ethical conundrum that I think we need to put some scrutiny upon. Let's just put it in those terms. Supposedly relaying information to this is the text from Don Lemon, supposedly relaying information that the Chicago Police Department didn't believe Smollett's account of what happened. Well, no kidding. Lots of bad things here. Additionally, he pushed back against testimonies from Bola Azundiaro, one of the alleged attackers, claiming that he purchased drugs from the man and made out with him at a gay bathhouse. That's odd. They were driving around doing drugs, supposedly, from his testimony during the court case. This is very strange. Austin Dario testified that he is not gay and that the relationship was not sexual in nature. He also previously stated that he did not sell drugs to Smollett, but merely acquired them for him. That doesn't sound good either. Okay, let's go back. We'll reset one more time. Jussie Smollett was convicted of staging a hate crime, lying to cops. So here you are. He was found guilty on 5 of 6 charges. So the 6th one being the aggravated battery, wearing a hood or mask to conceal his identity. That was the charge number 6. Let's go through your comments in the chat. He did not cross state lines. Well, I guess technically he did, because I believe part of the testimony was that he had just flown in. The flight was late. I might be mistaken there. Hard to say. He went to the subway to get a sandwich, I guess, at 2 something in the morning. Jussie is looking at up to 14 years in prison, according to Naked Fame. I doubt he'll spend a day in prison. He will pay a fine and be under house arrest. He can go to work in stores and do community service. Am I surprised if that ends up being what happens? No, I would not be surprised. The reason is he's a first timer of doing anything like this that we're aware of, and I have no reason to suspect otherwise. Right. So most of the time, these activities probably don't carry a high level of recidivism. So I have a feeling that this is probably right around there. He might have to do 90 days would be my guess. Hard to say. It really honestly is. Thank you all for rolling in here. I appreciate it. We got Eric K and Pat S and many others. This question's, like I said, Rajesh, my suspicion, and I would suspect that he would spend a small period of time doing something. My guess is 90 days and community service along with parole, but it's hard to say what goes from there. I think the catch for aggravated battery is he had the battery stage. I think that's probably true. Forbidden Ruin. That would be my guess as well. He won't go to prison. He's above the law. That may be true. It really may be. I appreciate the thoughts there. Yes, I like the Dave Chappelle pronunciation there, who was basically doing, I would not be surprised if Dave Chappelle comes out and does like a real quick, Twitter or something video or throw something up someplace. That would not surprise me. Maybe an Insta story or whatnot. I don't know. President Kamala will get him a pardon. Probably. He's going to have some difficulties. Tim Pool was trying to outline some of that over the last few days of some things that will change in his life significantly with these convictions. So we'll have to see about that. Nano Reaper would love to see him go to the prison for the max. I think something has to be done because, to be honest with you, this is kind of reprehensible crime against society, right? Is to stage a hate crime. Solar One says he'll do public service announcements as community service. What would they be for? Don't stage a hate crime? I'm not really sure. Don't. I don't know. He probably won't go to prison, but he is a convicted felon. These are true. Enzo Carlisle says, "Yes, I'm just out here. I didn't see anybody doing this yet. I don't know if Nick Rekieta was doing this yet. I just thought I'd pop on and get on here." Sanders says he should do about 2 years. I don't know. I really don't know. Hey, buddy. So all these are misdemeanors. They should have made a plea deal as it wastes the tax. Yes, absolutely. They should have made a plea deal way back when, a long time ago. It's frustrating to me. Let's just put it in those terms. It's very frustrating to me that this wasn't a plea deal, right? It's just an admission of guilt, mea culpa, and be done with it, right? Instead, lots of doubling down, the interviews and stuff. He made a lot of people look bad, including himself, and it didn't have to happen. And he probably was, like you said, just trying to get some leverage or something out of the deal, if that's the case. Yeah, we'll have to see what happens. I'm not going to say any of that. Nikki D says doubt he gets prison time. I have a lot of people a lot of people are falling along the same lines as you are as far as that goes. Nikki D, I wouldn't be surprised. Bees man, what's going on? Look at all you folks. It's Chicago. How could you tell there were riots? I don't know. That's a great joke. But I think you'll know there'll be a lot of items leaving stores, probably. I don't know. Jussie about to get his. Oh my! I can't really read all of that. You guys are great. Thank you for that. This is amazing. What baffles me here is there's still people who cling to his victim narrative. Yes, Joker voice. I think that's been going on for a long time. Mark D with the C's in the chat. What's going on, Mark D? Good to see you, my friend. It was great seeing you last night in the chat as well. We've got. Better stock the Subway sandwiches. Oh, there you go. That's a great joke. You guys are on fire today, let me tell you. You finally picked a proper moniker, says Wicked Pinto. All right, formerly YouTube me. Well, thanks for being here, Wicked Pinto. Appreciate it, my friend. The charge he was not convicted on, just to reset for everybody, he was convicted on 5 of 6 charges. The 6th one being found not guilty on the charge number 6, aggravated battery, wearing a hood or mask to conceal his identity. So there's that. Good to see you there, Becky. Thanks for popping in. Let's see. Tiki of Doom. Yeah, with the chant that apparently was stated there. Yeah, this is the 6-minute set, guys. I'm sorry. I didn't have a new set prepared for this. I wasn't thinking that this was going to happen this quick. I personally think that the process charges doubled is wrong. So 3 and 4 I don't like, but if they are holding people in jail without charges for more than 9 months in DC, I don't even know, honestly. Yeah, he technically didn't do the battery, so that's correct. He staged it. He was I understand. Experiment 626. I agree with you. Very, very interesting indeed. Let's see. Boy, did they not want to find him guilty, in my opinion. Yeah, they really didn't want this to happen, but it did. He did lie under oath. There is a possible perjury during a felony trial. This is true. He could get in trouble again, or have some. So there could be ramifications for that. All that is absolutely accurate. Hey, Bruce, what's going on, my friend? Joaquim's hanging out with us. Appreciate all the support, guys. Yeah, the Gilk man. I'm glad is not the right emotion, but I am satisfied that he was found guilty by a jury of his peers who looked at all of the evidence and came to that conclusion. I don't know how you would have otherwise. I understand that the 6th one, it didn't rise to the level that they needed to. To even that one probably was just a kicker that they tossed in there, to be honest with you. I don't know how they would have expected to get that. Yeah, I have an interesting question about this too, Scaff. I don't know what the talk shows are going to react, how they're going to react to this. I don't think they'll be able to do a lot of wiggling, but maybe. I'll have to see. We'll have to find out what that narrative is if they do. What is the sentencing on all the charges? Well, BK Panther, what they're going to do is they will order a pre-sentencing investigation. The judge has already done that. And the attorneys will meet via a conference call to determine a date for the pre-sentencing motions, which they'll make arguments for whether it's the minimum sentence, whether it's the maximum sentence. It'll be a lot of to and fro there as well. Yeah, it was terrible for the country for what he did, in my opinion as well. So I understand that. I understand where everybody's coming from. Let's see. What else do we have? Joker Voice says the left wants guilty and never innocent. I'm not going to say it that way. I'm going to say that the extreme leftists probably prefer things to support the narrative. I understand where you're coming from, my friend. I really do. What's going on, Tommy? Good to see you, my friend. Vicious Vendetta's at the house. Says Culture had 17 cups of coffee. Geez, actually, yeah. Maybe I had a couple pieces of chocolate, which I don't do because it's outside of the keto thing. But I had 2 Reese's peanut butter cups, the slim ones. So it was like the equivalent of one real one, right? I mean, so really, but yeah, no, I haven't had coffee since this morning, but I get amped up when I'm talking real quickly and I'm trying to get as much information out as as fast as I possibly can. There's some other stories here. I'll go looking for them live here as we go. But I thought this was an interesting place to start. Good to see you, Judicon. I appreciate you being here. Yeah, sentencing guidance. I think I just went over that. You guys I'm way behind on the chat. I apologize, everyone. I think I even had a super chat out there from many people. So Rob Altus is hanging out with us. Let's not forget to realize how truly egregious his crimes were. His actions have helped to tear down the pillars of our society. He needs to do some serious jail time. Judicon, you're going to have a lot of people that support that side, honestly. Rashesh, Chicago has cops. I think what Nick calls it Chirac, right? Because he lives in that area. So yeah, I'm 32 flavors of Nick Weiser for those of you out there in the world. Man, I appreciate all the support, folks. I really do. Of course, Tommy and the Guinea Pig Collective comes up with a $5 super chat and says, I witnessed a hate crime. Walton being stuck in a car with me. Oh my goodness. Yeah, that had to have been a hate crime for you for like a whole day, I think, right? Glenzer says when pulling a hoax, a person will be accused of pulling a Smollett. That, you know what? Unfortunately, probably. Yeah. Unfortunately, probably. I don't even know. I don't even know. Some of this stuff, I feel, look, you have to have a little bit of sympathy for him because, as was previously mentioned by one of the great folks out there in the chat, you guys, he probably never imagined that this was something that could happen. He probably just really, he could not possibly have imagined that this was going to be the outcome here. I don't believe it. I don't believe he thought it could have been anything this serious for him, to be honest with you. Hey, Rugo Betta, good to see you. Jussie Smollett and Bubba Wallace, LeBron James. I don't know if LeBron James I can't speak to directly, but Bubba Wallace, look, maybe that was a misunderstanding about the garage pull. I thought that was an incredible waste of resources for the FBI. He might have been convicted yet with his semi-protected status. How many hours of community service will they force him to do? He'll probably have to do, I don't know, 1,500. It's hard to say. But I don't think that, I don't even know. I haven't looked at the minimum. So, mea culpa for me. I haven't looked at what the minimums are in Chicago for these things. So, I did not see Biden's tweet last week, but I did hear tell about it, Roy Glass. My belief is that will somehow find the memory hole as fast as possible. But hey, I have no idea what's going to come out about this. Look, if I were the PR guy, and this is not me saying this, if I were the PR guy or worked for the White House, I would say, in light of what actions were taken by a jury of his peers, it seems that with all of the evidence presented, including the testimony of the individuals involved, the jury reached a decision that Jussie Smollett was found guilty on 5 of 6 charges. This does not in any way change the fact that there are some serious racial divides in this country, and they need to be addressed in a way that brings us all together. Again, that's PR speech right there. If I were going to work at the White House, that is what I would come out to say. And everything after that is deflection. So if you want, you need somebody bulletproof. Well, unfortunately, right now, the White House doesn't have a bulletproof individual up there. They needed to actually hire the guy that just went over to Disney to replace Munchia, but we'll talk about that another day. Anyway, how did that sound? Did I sound like one of the PR guys? Probably. Cal G for $5 says, I think someone should make a video with Jussie in the center of 2 circles surrounded by random faces of people saying guilty a la Superman. I remember that. That's a brilliant idea, Cal G. Absolutely. Hey, Chris Persa, good to see you. Chris is everywhere, I swear. Thanks for being here, my friend. About time to have some accountability, but we don't expect much. No, look, this is a problem right now in society as a whole. I think we absolutely don't have accountability as we should, in this country. And I think that's part of the problem. Nobody's held accountable for their actions. Everybody can always try to wrap their arms around some form of victimhood, or they took an inappropriate action because they're a victim. That's not the way it's supposed to work, folks. And I think that, again, This is a different thing. Yeah, he should do an Alec Baldwin and explain his sandwich. That's funny. You guys, wow. I'm not sure if this is true, Sander Hammerslag, exactly, but he was no fan of the former executive. That's very, very true. Al Sharpton, how much jail time Smollett should get, I don't know. Because honestly, if I were on that side of things and I was trying to get real recognition for actual problems in society and actual hate crimes, I would be like, I would go the other way. I would, if I were Al Sharpton, I'd be like, look, this was based on the evidence presented, the decisions that were made, and the jury of his peers. This is obviously a despicable action that no one should ever repeat. We should not have people looking to create the kind of division here. We have to come together. Again, if you're a minister, if you're a preacher, if you are supposedly of that status and stature, you should actually have to come out and present it in that way, because your job is not to divide people, it's to bring people together. Again, I mean, that's ultimately part of your job description, right? When you're working from that side of things. Yeah, I'm sure they already have videos up. Again, I just thought going live, talking to you guys would be probably the best way to get about it. What else? This is going to be the thing, right? This Kim Foxx aspect of it all. She is not looking good here. And it is the stuff that was happening in the background at the very beginning of this. That's a problem. We're gonna have to get real serious about some of these folks that are in some of these offices that are being placed there through major political and financial manipulation by a couple of individuals. Again, I don't do politics on my channel. Really, I try to avoid them, but unfortunately, this is news and it falls into entertainment and in pop culture. So there we are. I don't know about that, but thank you. I hope that's true. I really hope that I did get on this quickly. There was a plea deal. Fox gave him basically time served on a no contest deal, which is a joke. It absolutely was. Again, the Kim Foxx thing is egregious miscarriage of oh my gosh, what's it termed? Judicial. Oh goodness. It'll come. It'll show up in my brain. I'm having stream brain right now, and I don't have somebody to bounce off of. This is probably true, Eric K. He probably did get people injured, and all of that. I have no idea what any of these other entities are going to come out and say about this. Essentially, if this is. You were in support of the establishment on either side of this case, I think. But I don't know. I don't even know what they think anymore, to be honest with you. The defense probably thought they could win on sympathy. I don't know about that. I cannot wait for, by the way, can't wait for my glass of wine tonight, let me tell you. He got fired. That's what he got out of the deal. Yeah, I don't even know. Nancy Hickman, good to see you. Says Smallest, Wallace, and L. James are all guilty of false hate crime claims. It doesn't surprise me, Nancy. I don't. I know something happened with LeBron. I don't. It's not in resident memory. So there it is. Defamation of entire segments of society. Yes, Joker voice. 1000%. But let's focus on what matters. This and the Rittenhouse were distractions 100%. And I think I saw you say this earlier. I have to tell you that is thank you. Prosecutorial discretion. Thank you, Wicked Pinto. 100% right. That's the words I could not find in this brain. But Joker voice, you're 1000% right. There is a trial going on right now that's being largely swept under the rug that we should all be pointing out and trying to get as much attention to as possible on social media, YouTube, Rumble, Odyssey, anywhere you can go, locals, Minds, any of these platforms that you participate in, guys. We have to get the Maxwell stuff into people's collective consciousness. They need to understand what's at stake and why it's all being swept under the carpet, and why the substantial portion of that list, if not almost all of it, was redacted, because they don't want you to see the names on there. That's not cool. That's not cool. This story will be off the news tomorrow since it doesn't fit the narrative. Not if we have anything to say about it. I'm not going to let go of what happened in Wisconsin for a Christmas parade. I'm not going to let go of some of this stuff. I won't. I hope you don't either. I mean, it's up to us to keep this in the zeitgeist. Okay, guys, that's really what it is, honestly. Wow, Clobby's hanging out. Good to see you, Clobby. Hope you're doing well. Ironcaster says it's wise to restate what happened every now and then. Absolutely. So I will reset one more time. I don't know how much longer I'm going to go. I'm supposed to be elsewhere really soon. So here we go from the top. And again, I only grabbed the Fox News story because it was most recently updated, which was within 20 minutes of me getting started. So Jussie Smollett convicted of staging hate crime, lying to cops. The Empire alum who claimed to be attacked in Chicago in 2019 was found guilty on 5 of 6 charges. The charges he was not found guilty on was number 6, which was aggravated battery wearing a hood or mask to conceal his identity. So that's the only one. And again, I believe that the reason that this took as long as it did, because they only had part of a day yesterday to do it. This was the first full day of deliberations. I think they were trying to come to some common ground on the 6th charge, because I think the other 5 were fait accompli, right? A little bit of French for those of you out there. And I do think, again, as mentioned in this story, that there will be a lot of interesting things going around for this part of it, which is Judge Lynn said he's going to order pre-sentencing investigation, and attorneys will meet via conference call to determine a date for pre-sentencing motions. So I have a feeling that that's where all of that's going to get negotiated. How many days, if he spends time in jail, how much community service, all of the other things that are associated with that. It is unfortunate. I feel like this guy has pretty much ruined a lot of his career with this. He probably can bounce back in a few. He was recently going around and promoting a recent project that he was in. But that resets that. You have this thing that really bothers me because of, again, I think this comes under ethics, but among the surprising claims made by Smollett's testimony was the revelation that the actor received a text from CNN's Don Lemon, supposedly relaying information that the Chicago Police Department didn't believe Smollett's account of what happened. So there you go. I feel really bad for Robin Roberts, who I thought was great for sports, and she fought a terrible battle with cancer and bounced back, but she did an interview with him that was just absolutely horrific. And she actually came out a little later and said there were some things that bothered her about the interview. So she was being a little bit, she didn't feel great about the interview at the end of it. I'm just going to put it that way. You can see in her own words, it's still up on YouTube somewhere, that interview that she did with Smollett after the attack. Let's see. We have Cowboy Bebop was canceled. That's good news. So yeah, I did not know that, but doesn't surprise me. I'm trying to cover it all. Hey, Purple, good to see you, love. Thanks for being here. Yeah, we're rocking and rolling. Hey, Gap Stargate. Guys, you're gonna have to explain this to me because I don't know. A lot of people come in and say that. I have no idea what it is. So whatever it is, don't know. And if you're trying to get me to say something that I don't get, that doesn't make sense, or if it's some kind of a hate thing, I have no interest in it. Sean Landrigan says, "Hey, culture and chat. I'm very glad about this. A lot of people are. I'm trying not to find joy in other people's suffering, but this is a thing. Why did he do this stunt in the first place? Darth Scipio, I don't know. I think he was trying to increase his profile. That's the only thing I can think, because he did have a place on Empire. Maybe he was unhappy with his contract. I think there are people that were speculating along that. I don't want to speculate. I just want to say that if I were going to speculate, I would think he was just trying to elevate his profile, which is a shame because, he had a lot of projects, a lot of irons in the fire. So this is weird. He did claim that he needed to get in shape. I hear, oh my goodness, Nano Reaper. I'm not sure I want to read that one, buddy. Oh, you guys are amazing. I can see how everyone came out to support him at first. Absolutely. Who would think that someone would make something like this up? And that's where I come down. I'm like, this, if, based on all the things that we now know, it's kind of despicable. And, I mean, you have to kind of see it that way, right? It's just reprehensible is a strong word, but maybe it's applicable here, perhaps. And if it was political, if that's actually also if that's actually also the thing that Lasso of Truth brings up, that could have been the case. But man, this is just terrible. But it is what it is. This was part of the narrative, so they want us to forget as soon as possible and move on to the next hoax. I'm not going to fall for him anymore, Rob. I don't know about you. Another Reese's rationalization. That's true. I had to though. Try the slim dark chocolate Reese's. You put them in the freezer. See this? Okay, I'm going to show you the package because I legitimately ate one of these, so they're really good. So anyway, I don't really eat chocolate or any of that. Trying to catch up with everybody. I'm so sorry. The chat, I'm way behind on what you guys are saying. I apologize. Jussie gets done, but Antifa's Portland branch gets a pass. I really hope not. I'm really frustrated with that. Again, I mean, we can read a lot into the removal of the YouTube dislike count. We can read a lot into the fact that Twitter has changed its policy on social media, and because they don't want the mugshots of people who are behaving badly, which is public record anyway, out there in a broader sense. I have a real problem with this. I have a real problem with them worrying about people posting viral videos showing the entire element of a particular event. Believe me, if we didn't have a compilation of everything that happened with the Rittenhouse thing, we wouldn't really know what happened because we'd have only been presented with this tiny little bit of slanted information. And boy, was it terribly, terribly slanted. Let's see. Ryan, I would say this, Ryan Doles. I would say that in this particular case, I want to give Bubba the benefit of the doubt. Maybe that was a misunderstanding. Maybe he didn't notice that there were any other garage polls that were wound the same way. I don't know, but we wasted a lot of resources on that, federal resources. Man, could you imagine if we wasted federal resources on this? My goodness. Just very, very inconceivable. Found guilty in Chicago. Almost. That might actually be true. What's up, Punkwall? Good to see you. You think he was let go at that point? I'm not sure. I think it was a contract thing, but I could be wrong. Nano Reaper says, I have some sympathy for him, but if he was a child, but he's 39. So again, I appreciate that perspective. I think when this happened, he would be 37 because it's a couple years ago. So I think he's 39 now. So yeah, I would think at that time, but it's still not a good excuse. You're 100% right. My understanding on Bubba is that was actually one of his team that called it in, and then the FBI went untouchables on the maintenance guy. Really? Oh my. I just don't remember. I don't understand. He knew CCTV was everywhere. I don't even understand, my friend. I don't get it. I mean, again, how are you going to explain it away? And hello, everybody. Thanks for being here. We're going through this real quick. I will reset one more time in just a second. Tommy and the Guinea Pig Collective for $5 super chat says, memory hole is not what Smollett needs to worry about. That's a great joke, my friend. I'm not going to elaborate on the adult nature that you put that out there with. So let's reset one last time. Jussie Smollett convicted of staging a hate crime and lying to cops from his 2019 attack. He was found guilty on 5 of 6 charges. The charge he was not found guilty of was number 6, aggravated battery while wearing a hood or mask to conceal his identity. And as many people in the chat have pointed out, that's probably because he was the actual victim of the hoax. So it was probably that. Obviously, many people were. Well, I'm not even going to get into that. This obviously is a bigger deal in our zeitgeist than the other things that we need to really be paying close attention to. But it is something that we need to cover today. So those were the charges. In reaction to that, Judge Lynn said the guilty charges. Judge Lynn said he will order a pre-sentencing investigation, and attorneys will meet via conference call to determine a date for pre-sentencing motions, which means they're going to discuss exactly what what's going to go on here, whether or not he gets jail time, what kind of community service he does, et cetera, et cetera. This is going to make his life difficult. Tim Pool's been telling you that for a while now. And you're going to have to, we're going to have to see what happens. I believe it would be justice if he did some jail time. I'm not sure it needs to be a great deal of it. But again, that's an opinion on my part. I'm not, and I don't really want to dive too deeply into why, but I think that what he did was not great, perpetrating a hoax and wasting a lot of resources, time, and inspiring more division in this country at a time when we absolutely do not need it. I think the other element of this that everybody should be paying attention to, again, resetting one more time, is that among the surprising claims made in Smollett's, I'm going to say it the right way, testimony, was the revelation that the actor received a text from CNN's Don Lemon, supposedly relaying information that the Chicago Police Department didn't believe Smollett's account of what happened. I think, again, this gets into an area of journalistic ethics, and CNN's already had some problems there, let's just say, recently. I have a feeling... I have a feeling nothing will happen to Don Lemon, but boy, if we were going to hold everybody accountable for that, it is what it is. Good to see you, Nick Weiser. Joker Voice says, oh no, I have no sympathy for him. He thought he could defame an entire segment of society. 100% right. Because in his Roberts interview, he goes hard against Trump. Lennon was right, useful idiot. You know what, Joker Voice? No disagreements here, my friend. Absolutely none. Despicable, reprehensible. Those are words I might apply here. I have to be very, 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 very careful. I think I did my PR bit. A lot of people wanted to hire me. That's if I were going to be the bulletproof front man for the White House right now for Biden on this issue, that's exactly how I would have done it. Go back and watch just a little while ago when I was talking about it. This is Jussie all dried up. Yeah, Ed Brewer, I hate to say it, but we tried to see the best in humanity. It's hard sometimes when they don't give you a lot of room. A lot of people have no sympathy. I'm kind of worried. Another huge societal issue is that nearly everyone here and most everyone is expecting a two-tier justice system that breeds a lot of resentment, and it won't end well. Solar Warden, 100% right. And this is going to be the glaring result of all of this, is a two-tier justice system. We are going to see whether or not he is held as accountable as somebody else perpetrating a hoax like this on 5 guilty counts. We will have to see. We'll have to see. Nano Reaper says Al Sharpton is a race hustler, not a preacher. I don't know necessarily that I could disagree with that. Philip Gaming says, hail. I think that Kim Fox should be disbarred, to be honest with you, based on the evidence and everything that's come to light. Let's see. We've got Naked Fame. Another brilliant point. Boy, between Naked Fame and Joker Voice, and Nano Reaper and many of you guys, this thing's on fire. I appreciate it. Says the problem isn't that he's getting away with it due to money or fame. It's that others are getting away with this as well. Dozens of hoaxes at colleges have zero accountability. I agree with that as well. And I'm tired of that. Judicial misconduct is probably accurate. Never underestimate Chicago political corruption, says Trinoculus P, 100% right. What's up, Magnus Zerm? Let's see. Yes, this is somebody I was referring to earlier that is putting people on in positions of authority when deciding who gets prosecuted of a crime. We'll have to see what happens there. Hey, Southern Belle, good to see you. This is also true, Mark D with a C. Sharpton should have gotten jail time for his involvement in the Tawana Brawley hoax. Yeah, this is another thing. We really need to be focused on this thing right here that Liger fan is talking about. These things are distractions. We need to be focused in on other things right now, things that are more relevant than ever. Okay, we have to keep this alive. We have to hold the powerful accountable. We have to somehow massively be involved in getting all the information out there in the world. We can't let Twitter shut down an account that's actually exposing a lot of this information, and yet they keep doing it. We can't allow this to continue. We have to start holding those in power accountable. We have to do that with more than our votes. We have to do it with our voices. We have to do it with a whole lot of words. We have to expose the people who are corrupted. That's what we have to do, guys. Yeah, if he only gets community service and no jail time, things are going to be bananas. Let's put it that way. If I believed in conspiracy, I'd say that Jussie was offered up as a just forget about Madam M's case. I really hope that is not accurate. I hope that we go after that. Good to see you, Karen Prime. Thanks for being here. Frankie Noah says, I believe the Maxwell case was postponed early on because the chess piece placed. It's quite possible. I would hate to think that that's actually being done that way. There are other accounts that are currently following the trial that are actually at the trial. This is true. You're seeing like people coordinate and compile data because, as Tim Pool mentioned, when you're covering a trial, you have to enter and exit. They don't let you take your phone in with you, so you can't live tweet from a trial. They don't want that kind of exposure. Right now, just like with the Jussie Smollett thing, there are overflow courtrooms where closed circuit TVs being provided of the actual proceedings in that courtroom. But regardless, you have people cycling in and out trying to cover this, at least give you the actual information. The Potter trial is actually a big deal as well. We'll have to see where things come down with that. Nick Rekieta has been covering that. If you want to see that on a regular basis, he's been doing a bang up job as usual. I really love the way his channel's just exploded, and I like the way he does coverage. I like other attorneys talking with him. I think he assembles amazing panels. I am very, very proud of Nick Rekieta. He spray painted his gate to his mansion, made it all up. Yeah, I think that is in reference to LeBron. And yes, I do remember something like that. His punishment should be the $2.4 million fine, just like Michael Flynn, who misremembered one time. I don't know if that's possible, but maybe. Karen Prime says, chuck the book at him. And so does Southern Belle. Let's put him in jail. I think he should have to pay for all the costs. I really do. I think there should be a financial responsibility when you are diving very, very deeply into this pool, where you are wholly owning this, and until his last breath that he took before he was pronounced guilty today on 5 counts, I think he was still clinging to that narrative, which is probably one of the reasons he was non-reactive in the courtroom when it was announced. But we'll have to see. It was called a hate crime. And it just wasn't the hate crime they thought it was, because I honestly believe this directed hate in a completely different direction and created more divide. And I think that, again, reprehensible is the word that comes to mind. And again, I don't do politics on this channel. I will talk politics tonight. If you want to see me doing politics, the story is likely going to come up over on Comics Division's channel. You can check us out. We won't be yelling at parked cars tonight. Instead, we will be having a Throwdown Thursday or Thursday Throwdown. So do check that out. Hey, Gug Fugel, good to see you. Thanks for being a member. I don't know what backlash is going to hit the vice president. I don't know what's going to hit Joe Biden. I'm going to reset the story one last time because I only wanted to go for an hour max. So here we go. Jussie Smollett convicted of staging a hate crime and lying to cops. He was found guilty on 5 of the 6 charges. The charge number 6 he was found not guilty on was the aggravated battery while wearing a hood or mask to conceal his identity. And again, that makes a lot of sense since he was the one that was being fake attacked. So I don't know necessarily what will happen with that. I'll reread this part because I haven't in a while. Smollett was stoic when the jury read the verdict. The actor sat upright and stared straight ahead without showing any real emotion. Going into this, Judge Lynn said he will order a pre-sentencing investigation, probably going further into Jussie's background, et cetera, et cetera. And attorneys and the judge obviously will meet via conference call to determine a date for the pre-sentencing motions. And that's going to be the thing where they go back and forth on essentially what he's going to be, how he's going to be punished and to what extent. I have a feeling prosecution's going to want to hit pretty hard. I have a feeling that they're going to try to not, they're going to try to hit pretty hard. I have a feeling the defense is going to push back a lot. They're going to have a lot of interesting ways of going about that based on some of the conduct in the courtroom. We'll have to see how that actually goes over. The last thing I wanted to point out specifically is this particular part right here. Among the surprising claims made in Smollett's testimony was the revelation that the actor received a text message from CNN's Don Lemon, supposedly relaying information that the Chicago Police Department didn't believe Smollett's account of what happened. And again, this falls right in line with what's a real problem over at CNN right now with journalistic ethics. So we will definitely go into that for sure. This is another great thing that I did not know until just this moment. Liger fan says Josh Dugar was also found guilty today. Another person guilty of some reprehensible stuff in the world. And again, feeds right into the trial we cannot ignore right now, which is the one with the Maxwell trial that's the mainstream is trying desperately, and the government's trying to desperately sweep under the carpet. Please pay attention to that, folks. We cannot let that leave the zeitgeist. We have to start holding these people accountable. They are doing this on purpose. They are brazenly trying to keep that away from public view and everything around it. So much so that they heavily redacted very important names from the list of clients in the black book that were going to and from the island on the plane that was seemingly appropriately named. I have to be very careful here. The VOA people are bots. Okay, that sounds good. If that's the truth, guys, please get rid of them. I don't want anything to do with bots. Thank you. I don't like to call it the anti-woke movement. No, I think it's we are rational and critical thinking. That's true. What's up, Gomer Kyle? Good to see you. This suffering, his suffering is self-inflicted, but what he did to others, that's not cool. He really created a great divide. He inspired hate against others by committing this hoax. There's no doubt about it. Money in his role contract was close to being up. Okay, there you go. That's probably it. What else do we have? Lily has Lily's has a decent peanut butter cups. I'm gonna have to try those, Nancy Hickman. I really am. Hopefully we're gonna get to the UK this year. That's part of the plan. We'll see. He has shown zero remorse for his actions. This is 100% true, Naked Fame. And that's a large part of, or should be part of, the sentencing. Unfortunately, in your opinion, he's above the law, not in mine. But again, if this does reveal a two-tier justice system, that's equally as reprehensible as the actions committed here. Again, driving hate. Jesse Jackson pulled strings for him in the sentencing. We'll have to see. Man, it's good to see you guys. I'm doing my best. I'm trying to cover this as quickly as possible, and it is as responsible a way as I possibly can. Anna, I hope this is not true. I really hope that there will be some accountability. Dr. Doe says them damn MAGAs get away with it again. Exactly. Isn't that crazy? Isn't that nuts? That's just the worst thing. It's just an awful way to go about things. Definitely look up the fake hate crimes that's been happening, and nothing like that. We definitely, Daniel Hall, we just talked about this. You guys are on fire. Kaepernick might give Jussie a job. We'll see. Maybe he'll go to work for Nike, peddle some tennis shoes sewn by Uyghur Muslims. CNN is in a pickle, 1,000%, Darcipio. If they fired Chris Cuomo, then CNN has to fire Don Lemon. Otherwise, they'll look like hypocrites. I agree with you, my friend. I agree with you completely. Let's see. This is information that Don Lemon couldn't give him from his media connections. Well, okay, I'm just telling you what it is. What is the sentence if for the crime? There could be any number of things. He could be there. I mean, there's a number of years on the table here. Will he get those? No. But we'll see what happens there. What's up, Inferior? Hey, Eldritch Thrust Lord. I corrected your name on the credits video, so you'll see that tomorrow on the 6 Minute Daily. I also added Joker. Joker voice is actually in the credits for tomorrow. So thank you for being here. And I will run the credits at the end of this show. Guys, thanks for being here. We were up to almost 250 viewers live. I appreciate that very much. I'm sure other people will watch this on the replay. I think the sentence carries the minimum jail sentence. I think it does as well. We will have to see what happens with that. But again, Jussie Smollett was found guilty on 5 of 6 charges today for his fake hate crime, for the hoax that he perpetrated on the American public. I don't know how else to cover this, guys. I'm doing the very best I can to stay incredibly as unbiased as I can be. It's very hard in this situation. We are rocking the box, guys. Please hit the like button if you're here. I would really, truly appreciate that. And as we wind down, wow, this is an interesting name. Wow. How is disorderly conduct a felony, though? Class 4 felony, I believe. No, you're 100% right. It is. And yeah, there's a lot of things that are felony. Let me tell you right now, if you're going over 15 miles an hour over the speed limit in most states, you committed felony speeding. Yeah. Yeah, not good. You want to plea that one down if you can. Let's see what else is out there. Yeah, Lord Trinan says no jail time equals no justice, 100%. And what is it? No justice, no peace. Is that what they say? Yes, this is 1,000% accurate, Rajesh. There's one individual that is responsible for just absolute garbage everywhere he goes, and all the political candidates he supports. This is definitely the 60-minute daily. I don't intend to do this again. Thanks again for jumping the sub count back up to 200. I'll reset one last time, reading the most important parts before we end the stream. If I did not get to you, I'm very sorry. I'm scrolling through as fast as I can to make sure I don't miss any super chats. You guys, I appreciate it. You guys are all amazingly valuable, and I appreciate you so very, very much. Resetting. Jussie Smollett convicted to staging hate crime, lying to cops. He was found guilty on 5 of 6 counts. The only count, number 6, he was not found guilty of was aggravated battery while wearing a hood or mask to conceal his identity. That was the only one he was not found guilty of. Judge Lynn said that he will order a pre-sentencing investigation, and attorneys will meet via conference call to determine a date for pre-sentencing motions. I will do more research into what the minimum sentencing requirements are. We will probably go over that in a future stream at some point. I'm going to do these news updates going forward whenever something breaks like this in the afternoon and evening. So hopefully every once in a while you'll see me randomly go live. This is why. The judge did instruct the jury they have no obligation to speak to the media. I hope that they do not. And we will reset this with this last bit that I think is very important. Among the surprising claims made in Smollett's testimony was the revelation that the actor received a text from CNN's Don Lemon for supposedly relaying information that the Chicago Police Department didn't believe Smollett's account of what happened. Go back and watch the Robin Roberts interview. And then watch her later statements, basically when this was, starting to be broken down as a hoax. I really do feel like she was deceived, and I feel bad for her. I really do hope that you guys enjoyed this. I appreciate you all being here. Please hit the like. If you're not subscribed, please do. I would appreciate that as well. Naked Fame, I will hit you with a wrench in the near future if I can. And I want to say thank you to everybody who showed up to support this today. I will say this. I'm not surprised. It would have been very difficult to find this man innocent on all counts based on the evidence presented. Once again, you should be innocent until proven guilty. A jury of his peers decided that on 5 of 6 counts, he was. On that note, I'm going to say this, as I always do. Be sure to take care of yourself, take care of others. Wash your hands, of course, because it's good hygiene. And until next time, bye. Thanks for visiting today. Be sure you're subscribed and hit that for alerts. Yay! Of course, like and share all of the videos that you can, as it helps with the algorithm. Have a great day. Okay, everybody, just a quick reminder, as is in the chat, You have Midnight's Edge After Dark stream starting in just 5 minutes. I guarantee you there will be coverage of this there. We will also have, obviously, Comics' stream. You want to check out the Thursday Throwdown. We have a lot of great things to talk about. Thank you for the super chat, JPRPH. I appreciate it, for $4.99. Thank you. Everybody have a great night. Bye.